Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel. It's time for everybody's favorite video, the year-end review. I don't think I've ever done the 20 best albums, or my 20 favorite albums, I guess is more appropriate. I don't think I've ever done 20, though. I think that I did 10, and I've done 5 before, I know for sure. But this is a great year for metal, hard rock and metal. Just a great year for albums in general. I've bought way too much this year, spent way too much money. However, I have been working from home, so I've been spending non-stop vinyl pretty much every day, all day. So got a lot more listening in this year than I usually do. But let's just jump in. It's probably already going to be a pretty long video. Start at number 20 with Siren Ungle, Forever Black. The return of Siren Ungle after about 100 years, it seems. I ordered a copy that came with a signed promo pic, but a really good return. This was actually, when this came out, I probably would have told you it would be in my top 5 for the year. As other stuff has come out and as I've spun other stuff, it's just kind of moved on down. Still a fantastic album. Highly recommended. If you're a fan of any of the first 3 Siren Ungle albums, this one's a must-have, but Forever Black at number 20. Next up, at number 19, I can't believe I haven't seen anybody show this or even talk about this album. I didn't even see anybody show this when it came out, which really surprised me. But we've got Demons and Wizards 3, another return. I think it had been 15 or 16 years when this was released. But this is a side project from John Schaefer from Iced Earth and Hansi Kirsch from, I can't think of the name of the band now. Got it right there, too, one of their albums. Regardless, really killer album. Power metal, traditional metal at its best. I absolutely love this album. Again, I can't believe nobody is, I haven't seen anybody talking about that or showing it. This is another one that was much higher on my list, but as time has gone on, it's just kind of worked its way down. Still fantastic album, but at number 18, we've got Heathen, Empire of the Blind. Fantastic album. They mix it up a little bit, though. There's still some thrash here, but they go more towards the traditional metal, and I love it. A lot of people complain that they've left their thrash roots. I don't think that's true. It's still a fantastic album. Number 16, another one I haven't seen anybody show or talk about. Ohms from Deftones. This one's pretty cool. This is the... so Deftones always does a fan copy or a fan pressing that's only available through their website. This is it. It's on clear vinyl, and it came with a book, a photo book too. Really good album. I'm a huge fan of Deftones. I've been a fan since the day their first album was released. I've bought all of their albums pretty much the day they came out. And just another fantastic album. I actually like this one better than the last 2. And I've really liked the last 2 as well. Next up, the third album from Technical Death, Technical Thrash. They kind of ride the line there. But this is Charring the Rotting Earth from Madrost. Fantastic album, just heavy and technical and just phenomenal. And that one was number 15. Coming in at number 14, another just killer thrash band. Kind of a return to form. Their first 3 albums and EP were all just straight up Bay Area thrash. Their last album, they kind of mixed it up a little bit. I liked it, but the more I listened to it, the less I liked it as much as the first few albums. This is just another killer slab of thrash, and we've got Havoc 5. Next up, this album actually surprised me. This band, their first 2 albums were my number 1 albums of the years that they both came out. Phenomenal. This album is really good too. I just don't think it lives up to the first 2. We've got Infidel from Ambush. I'm not saying I don't recommend this. I highly, highly recommend it. Fantastic album. New wave of traditional metal. If you're into that sound, you're going to love this album. Next up, we've got, what are we at now? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Number 13, we've got the wildest band in the world. We've got Metal City from Raven. Another fantastic Raven album. It's funny, I actually don't like, I've talked to a couple of you and you all seem to like the artwork. I don't like the comic book artwork on this. It's a fantastic album though. Just Raven doing what Raven does best. They've got their new drummer on here who's fantastic. Really cool guy. He played for Fear Factory before playing for Raven. And he gives a new dimension to their sound. He just adds that youth at drums. And just a phenomenal album. So at 13, we've got Raven. Number 12, Even the Devil Believes from Stryper. Another great album from Stryper. I tell you what, as much as I love their first 3 albums, and those will always have a place in my heart, these last 3 albums are pretty much all I listen to from Stryper. They've just been killing it, and they do it again here. It's not as good as their last album, but their last album was pretty much a perfect album. That was a hard one to top. But this is, it's right there though. Fantastic album. This one was kind of a nightmare for me. So I ordered the gold copy and I was told it shipped twice, or it was delayed a couple times, and I was told it shipped twice. And then I got a message that I wasn't going to get it because it was damaged. Luckily, I was able to get one of the red vinyl copies. But fantastic album. A must-have. Number 11. This one, I actually wasn't feeling at first. I liked one song a lot, and it just kind of grew on me. And this one actually worked its way up the list. I think we're at 11 now, right? Let's see. I should have written these down. Yeah, number 11. We've got Power Up from AC/DC. Initially, the only song I really liked on here was Shot in the Dark. And actually Witch's Spell. And like I said, it just kind of grew on me. The more I listened to it, the more I liked it. I've liked their last couple albums. Rock or Bust, I really liked initially. But the problem with Rock or Bust is every time I heard it, I wanted to put in one of their older albums. And after a few spins, I don't think I've listened to it in 2 or 3 years. But I've been playing this quite a bit. And if you guys haven't checked this out, it's phenomenal. Number 10, another one I haven't seen anybody show or talk about. The third album from this phenomenal doom metal band. But we've got, what's the name of it? Forgotten Days from Pallbearer. Fantastic album. I love the artwork on here. All of their albums have good artwork. But just another fantastic slab of really killer doom metal. Pallbearer. Number 9. This is one that I've been playing pretty much nonstop. It's amazing how much work this band has been doing during the year with no touring. But we've got Mind Freeze from Haunt. Just a fantastic album. Haunt has pretty much made my list for the last 3 years in a row. This year they actually did 3 full-length albums. So this one was released. One I'm going to show in a bit was released a few months later. And they have another one. It hasn't shipped yet on vinyl or CD, but they released it digitally in, I believe, November. So Trevor Church has been keeping himself extremely busy for the last year. But we've got just another amazing new wave of traditional metal band or album from Haunt. Next up, another band that returned after about 100 years. We've got Siren, Back from the Dead. I believe their last album before this was 89. I could be off on that. This one was a gift, a VCLT from War God 60. And I've been playing it quite a bit. And I love the album. It's great. But we've got Back from the Dead from Siren. All right. So next up is number 7. And we've got Flashback from Haunt. Again, like I said, Trevor has been extremely busy. And I'm trying to think. They had 2 singles come out. I can't remember if that was this year or last year. But just another fantastic album. You know, I initially probably would have said I liked Mind Freeze better. But I've been listening to Flashback for the last couple weeks. And it's just kind of pushed its way ahead a little bit. So at the number 7 spot, we got Flashback from Haunt. Next up, one of my favorite new wave of tradition. They probably are my favorite new wave of traditional metal band. I've talked about them a lot over the years. I've done concert reviews, album reviews, and this is just another killer album. Hard to Stop from High Spirits. They got a little bit of criticism for the song "Voice in the Wind." It almost goes the route of punk. And a lot of people criticize it. I still really like that song. It definitely, I wish they would have put it at the end of the album. Because it does, you've got this really nice heaviness all through the album. And then you get to that first song and it kind of slows things down and then gets heavy again. That's my only criticism, though. I still like the song and I absolutely love the album. If you haven't checked out High Spirits, again, they're definitely my favorite new wave of traditional metal band. And highly recommend checking them out. Next up, an album that's on pretty much everybody's list. This, when it came out, I told everybody this will be number 1 on my list. And it was until just the last couple of months. This is still probably the album that I listened to the most this year. Not only have I been spinning the vinyl, I played at the gym pretty regularly when I'm working out. But just one of my all-time favorite thrash bands. Just one of my all-time favorite bands in general. But we've got Titans of Creation from Testament. Just a fantastic thrash album. People say this is their best album since the 80s, early 90s. I've heard people say this is the best of their last 4. It's a great album. I think it's just as good as the last one. I might have liked their last album a tiny bit more, but they're both phenomenal. First Strike Still Deadly is probably my favorite of the last few albums that they did, but this is, man, fantastic thrash album. Down to number 4. Is it another thrash album? I hadn't bought their last few albums. And Scott Waters and I'm trying to think who else. 2 or 3 different people told me I really need to get their newer albums. So I bought this and the 2 that came out before it at the same time. The 2 before this were pretty good, but this album is just next level. Just a phenomenal album from 80s thrash masters. These guys should be in the big 4 of Teutonic thrash. But this is Accuser. I believe this is self-titled too. Yep. Self-titled from Accuser. Just phenomenal album. I can't speak of this one highly enough. Next up, one that shocked me how good it was. I love this band. I've got all of their albums on CD. I've bought their last 3 or 4 on vinyl. This one takes it to the next level. This is the 3rd in a trilogy of their Scotland albums. But Power Metal Masters, Gravedigger, Fields of Blood. Highly recommend checking this one out. Just phenomenal. If you haven't liked their last few albums, I know quite a few people that haven't. I would say this is their best album in 10 years. And I love everything that they've released in the last 10 years. But like I said, they really stepped it up on this. Fantastic album. Next up, another one that really surprised me. This is a fantastic band. I think this is their 8th or 9th album. Every one of their albums is great. This is one of those bands where pretty much all of their albums are flawless. The one complaint I've had about the band over the years is they don't have that 1 or 2 really standout tracks. It's just all really good stuff. This album has the standout tracks, and again, just to the next level. I was blown away when I heard this for the first time. It's one of the most played albums I've played this year. Metal Commando from Primal Fear. If you haven't checked out Primal Fear, highly recommend them. Just straight up heavy metal. If you're a fan of 90s Painkiller era, Judas Priest, that's what these guys are. They've made a whole career out of Painkiller era Judas Priest, and it's just phenomenal. And then last but not least, another album I haven't seen anybody show. This is my number one by a mile. I haven't been able to play this enough. It's just on my turntable pretty much nonstop. But we've got Pentecost from Witch Hazel. Fantastic traditional metal album, 70s metal, a little bit of doominess to it. I just can't express how good this album is. I was blown away. It was actually Sarah from Banger TV, who I don't usually agree with her reviews, but she was talking about an album that I really liked, and she recommended if you like that album, you should check this one and a couple others. From the first time I played a clip of this, I had to order it. Fantastic. I had heard of this band before. I remember their second album kind of making the rounds and people saying it was really good. So I'm going to have to hunt the first two albums down. But my number one for the year, guys. That's it. Oh, yeah. And funny enough, I was just looking. Today is the 6th anniversary of my first VC video. I was actually around for 6 months to a year before that, talking to people and commenting and blah, all that stuff. But I don't know what made me look, but I just remember thinking, man, it seems like it's been quite a while, and it just happened to be that today was the 6-year anniversary. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. Hope everybody's good. I hope you're having a good new year. Take care, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you soon, guys.